Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yup, what's good, Original Crew, man? We're back today, man. We got a new Sunny V2. We got Andre the Giant. How amazing genetics make life impossible. You know who Andre the Giant is?
Life impossible. Andre, I know that name. Yeah, I don't know. I know that name. Andre.
No, come on.
I don't know, but I know the name.
You know. Come on. Think about it.
Andre the Giant.
Think about it. You know.
I don't know off the top of my head.
You know. I'm telling you know.
I said not off the top of my head. I don't.
You're not trying.
I am. I'm thinking.
You're not trying. All right, man. With that being said, before we get into it, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go. If you want to first support, all you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals,
like it with a thumbs up.
Man, let's hop into it. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Andre the Giant's size gave him everything.
The largest and highest paid and best known wrestler in the entire world.
Once being listed by the Guinness Book of Records as the highest paid wrestler ever. These same genetics, however, made his life a living hell, with Andre famously stating, "I would give much money to be able to spend 1 day per week as a man of regular size." When he was born, Andre already weighed 13 pounds or 6 whole kilos, which is almost double the average male baby, weighing 3.3 kilos or 7.5 pounds. Growing up, Andre played soccer, with his childhood friends stating he used to be the goalie, but the ball would never go in because he was so big. By the age of 12, Andre was 6'3" and 240 pounds or 108 kilos.
I started going to school, I was bigger than other kids.
He was too big to fit on the local school bus, and his family didn't.
I wonder, is his genetics like true proper genetics? Like he's tall literally by genetics, or is it a situation where it's like a
like one of those rare
disease disorder type thing?
Rare. Yeah. And yeah, I know who this is.
Yeah, I told you.
I knew who it was, and in my head I was like, some fighter, but I couldn't.
Fighter.
But it's a wrestler. But I was like, I don't think that's right. But I couldn't think, yeah.
But yeah, like it's crazy because him being 6'3" at 12, it's not abnormal. A lot of people that be like tall.
6'3" at 12, weighing 240, that's big, bro.
You have never heard such
a
thing?
6'3", 240? No, not the height and the weight. No.
The weight is the thing. He just ate a lot. 6'3", 240. That's a grown man.
That's a grown man, bro. That is a grown man.
I was bigger than other kids.
He was too big to fit on the local school bus, and his family didn't have the money to buy a car that could deal with his weight. As a result, Andre left school to work on a farm, where one day a friend of the farm's owner drove slowly past the field in a Rolls Royce. "I will own such a car as that someday," Andre said quietly. "Stop dreaming and start raking," his father replied. "You are a big boy, but that dream is too big even for you."
I said to my dad, someday I go get a car like this. And he said, quit dreaming, keep walking.
According to his brother, Andre did the farm work of...
Oh shit, this is brother. His brother is a big dude too.
But is he tall too? Or is he like more stocky?
I'm looking at the hands.
Yeah.
He has massive hands. He has a massive head.
Have they shown his dad?
His neck is even thick.
Yeah.
They just come from but he might be one of them deep genetics things where they do got giants in their family.
Yeah.
Everybody's not gonna turn out to be 7'4".
Right.
Some might turn out to be 6'6", 6'7". But you had that one that had the biggest growth spurt out of everybody.
True.
He's over 7 foot.
3 different men and would drive an unregistered car as the cops wouldn't dare to stop him when he tried to join the military.
Andre was deemed unfit for service as there were no shoes big enough, bunks long enough, or trenches deep enough to accommodate him.
Yet these
That's
same
crazy.
issues made him a wrestling sensation. He'd officially become Andre the Giant, a famous televised wrestler, but more notably had grown so much, his own parents didn't recognize him when he came back home.
My parents, there was a big fan of me, they saw me on TV, but they don't know.
Your parents were offended. They didn't know it was you.
No, because I changed my name.
At over 7 foot tall and 500 pounds or 227 kilos, Andre saw a doctor to figure out why he'd grown so much. Acromegaly was the diagnosis, a rare 1 in 12,000 brain tumor causing the body to produce excessive growth hormone. It leads to extra large hands, feet, and fingers, as well as a bigger jaw, nose, lips, and tongue. According to Ripley's Believe It or Not, his fingers were so big around that the ring he wore had an opening that could easily fit a silver dollar, which is 38.1 mil. To put the size into perspective, the average man's finger is around 10 to 11 mil around. This could be seen in interviews like this.
This is his ring, and I kid you not, I can get all 3 fingers in that ring.
With people on Reddit adding, favorite fact is that Andre was so large, he could push a hard-boiled egg through his wedding ring. My wife met him once and instead of a handshake, she said she could only shake one of his fingers. These elements made him so unique that when doctors offered to remove his tumor, Andre bluntly refused.
He decided that he didn't want treatment at that time because he thought it would interfere with his career as a wrestler.
He'd state, if this is the size that God wanted me to be, I'm going to be this size.
I use what God gave me. I'm not supernatural. I just myself. So what God gave me, I use it to make a living.
However, this gave him a short life expectancy.
The commissioned doctors at Madison Square Garden told me he's going to be lucky to live to be 40.
And meant he'd keep on growing until the day he'd die. By the time he'd joined the WWE, Andre had reached 7'4", peaking at 500.
So technically, he wasn't even done growing.
As long as he still had that
tumor,
he was going to continue to grow, which.
And basically, he's gonna continue to grow to the point where your body can't take it anymore and shut down. That's scary in itself, you know. Because I know he did die young, like younger than what what I'm saying. You would think of somebody. Because I know he didn't live a long life, but I didn't know it was the cause of a tumor though. I've been, you know what I'm saying. Because I was like, he was always abnormally big. Because I know he got a connection with the Big Show, but I always forget what, like, the true connection there, or was it the storyline? Because the Big Show is such a big guy as well.
Yeah.
160 pounds or 225 kilos.
What size boot is that, Andre?
It's 22. Size 22.
Take a look at that along my size 9.
This made him the most successful wrestler ever.
Without a doubt, Andre was the most famous wrestler in the world.
Yet it also continued to make his life harder.
It's difficult everywhere I go. They don't build anything for big people. They build everything for blind people, for crippled people, for some other people, but not for big people.
Andre was constantly visiting new cities.
The nature of your job, you're traveling all the time, aren't you? Like 320 nights a year.
Yes.
Which came with its own set of challenges.
Hotel beds, are they a problem?
I tried to find a hotel where they got a king-size bed. The worst is when I go in Japan, all those cars are so small.
Sure.
Even in a hotel, I can go through the door, I can go to the bathroom, everything is so small.
Andre was too large to fit inside most cars.
When I'm traveling with a car, I need 2 cars.
That's right. You can't even get in it.
There's nowhere for the giant to live anymore.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. Well, you can put 1 car in each foot.
Taking a taxi wasn't a better alternative.
Funny story, one time we couldn't get a taxi because he was so big.
And when they finally got one, Andre was charged extra.
We ask him how much he is, and we see the counter, he charges double. So you're a big guy, you have to pay double.
It seems that flying was Andre's only option, where he'd have to book the entire exit row. However, thankfully, he was able to fix this problem.
What about plane travel? Does that get old after a while? Awful?
I go in first class, but I don't really mind with it.
Despite this costing an absolute fortune,
I'm traveling so much. Last year, I bought for $67,000 just an airplane ticket.
there was still another even bigger flying problem. Andre couldn't fit inside the toilet. He therefore had to relieve himself prior to boarding.
Andre would always time it so that he would take a dump before, he went to the airport.
But in one notable instance, he forgot to go beforehand.
He's up in first class and he tells them, I gotta go. And they're like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
The onboard solution wasn't exactly glamorous.
He would relieve himself into a bucket and then bring
in
it
my
in
head,
and dump it into the toilet.
But in retrospect, the story's pretty...
thing.
You said what?
In my head, I was like, a bucket. The only thing he can... bucket.
But ain't no privacy with that.
A bucket,
man. And I bet it was stank. And just imagine him being that big, the size of his turd.
And then I'm pretty sure, since he in first Well, no, that's business. Well, yeah.
Oh, you talking about the guy that
I was about to say like privacy.
It's still. Well, we don't fly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which. But anyway, but if you gotta go, you gotta go.
You gotta go. You gotta go. You know.
Into a bucket, and then they bring it in and dump it into the toilet.
But in retrospect, the story's pretty funny.
The smell that started coming out. There was people falling out of their seats almost into the aisles. Puking, crying, screaming.
Sadly, this didn't only apply to planes.
Where does he shit?
In the bathtub.
No.
Yeah, there's no toilet gonna take his ass.
And with monumental bells came monumental farts.
It sounded like, like a deep roar kind of like thing. It would rumble.
On the set of Princess Bride, this actually halted production.
He lets out the most monumental fart. The whole plywood set was shaking, and the sound guy lifted his headphones off his ears and was doing that. And it went on for, somebody timed it was 16 seconds.
While Andre's former wrestling opponents thought the wind lasted even longer.
And I could feel my fucking shoulder just vibrate like. You know how long a giant can fart?
How long?
About 40 seconds.
Andre was so different to everybody else, it got to the point of public ridicule. Hulk Hogan explained when we'd walk through the airports, if he got ahead of me, I'd hear all the unkind things that people would say. Oh my god, look at that guy. It would just break my heart.
They perceived him as a freak of nature, and that hurt Andre more than anything. This guy was very sensitive. Boss, sometimes they laugh at me, they point at me. It hurts my feelings. You never think a guy like that would cry? But he would cry.
Andre stated in an interview, I would give much money to be able to spend 1 day per week as a man of regular size. I would shop and I would go to the cinema and drive around in a sports car and walk down Fifth Avenue and stare at the other people for a change. Disguising himself in public simply wasn't possible.
Muhammad Ali could put on a trench coat and a ball cap. Andre the Giant couldn't hide in the backseat of a car.
Instead opting to numb himself completely.
He never, ever, ever quit drinking. He drank from the time he got up to the time he went to bed. If he could figure out a way, he just done it in his sleep.
While Andre's drinking feats are often highly romanticized, there's no denying he had a serious problem.
He started drinking about 9 o'clock in the morning. He drank I'm not exaggerating, 20 bottles of new Beaujolais.
Doing so to cope with his difficult life.
He drank because he was in pain. His spine and his neck and his knees gave him a lot of trouble.
He drinks 6 bottles of water.
I thought about that too. I was like, without holding all of that weight and that height, just everything. I'm wondering, does he be in pain? And because I thought about it, but then I was like, maybe not. He's wrestling and stuff.
You think Shaq might be in pain?
His knees.
That's a lot of weight. And
his feet, maybe. Probably a little bit of his back, maybe.
Oh, because you gotta think about it. Even running for all those years on them knees.
Yeah. So.
And then dunking coming down.
He walk sometimes he sore or in pain.
Because people always wish, man, I wish I was 6'10". I could be in but that comes with other problems.
It comes with other things. Everything is not, glamorous. That's a plus to be that tall, but it comes with its problems as well. It comes with its difficulties. Yeah. But yeah, I thought about that.
His spine and his neck and his knees gave him a lot of trouble.
He drinks 6 bottles of wine before every wrestling match, with Jake the Snake explaining that Andre once drank 48 beers in a single car trip.
He drank 2 cases of beer and did not have to piss. How can you do that?
This was nothing compared to a different night.
Is it true that you in one sitting drank 117 beers?
Yes.
Were you drunk at the end of that?
I don't remember. I think I passed out.
With Andre's unofficial record being 156 beers in one sitting, which fellow wrestlers Dusty Rhodes and Michael Hayes confirmed. However, this only added extra weight onto his body.
I myself saw him almost every night.
Because without the proper diet, it's you already going to automatically add the pounds onto you.
Right.
Because of the condition. But without the proper diet, you're adding even additional. And then on top of that, you're doing all the drinking. Now it's affecting other things, opposed to, or to add to, I should say, the tumor you already have. You know what I'm saying? So. That's crazy.
The extra weight onto his body.
I myself saw him almost every night drink 7,000 calories worth of alcohol.
Which seemed to be the primary motive for why he eventually quit.
But you don't drink anymore?
Not since 14 months ago I quit.
You feel better for not drinking?
Yeah, because when I was drinking beer, I used to weigh 560 pounds.
And you've trimmed down now to?
Right now, I'm 470.
This led to the infamous Andre the Giant vs Hulk Hogan, after which his career was basically over. When he next came to a match, Andre was using crutches, showing the decline of his physical health. He'd retired to a ranch in North Carolina until he flew back to France for his father's funeral. He'd take this photo after the ceremony without realizing that 3 days later, Andre himself would die of a heart attack.
I'd like to announce the death of one of my favorite wrestlers and one of the most famous wrestlers of all time. He died this week in Paris, France, after going home to his father's funeral.
His body was too large to fit in any French crematorium, and as a result he was shipped back to the USA. His ashes weighed 17 pounds or almost 8 kilos, being just another reason he's remembered as a legend.
His ashes. I never even thought about like the weight of like the ashes and stuff. I've never thought of anyone's like just like a regular,
That's still heavy, 17 pounds.
That's heavy. I don't know. I've never thought of that. That like, weigh the ashes and see.
I didn't know he was from France though. At 46. So he do have a daughter. But you see, genetically, they're still very like thick individuals genetically. That's crazy.
3 days later, that's it. That's sad. Are you trying to see like the connection?
Yeah, because I guess it was just a storyline they used to roll with.
Probably so.
And saying they were related.
Okay, I got you. Probably because of the size and stuff like that, even though he still wasn't.
He debuted on May 21st, where he was billed as the son of Andre the Giant, although this was later dropped. And accordingly to the ring name, the Giant is a member of Kevin Sullivan's Dungeon of Doom stable.
I didn't realize he was that tall.
So he's not, but it was just a storyline. Oh, you say you never realized he was that tall? Yeah.
I know he was like probably like 6 something, but I didn't know he was 7.
No, I ain't gonna hold you. It's a lot of wrestlers. Like, I used to be a heavy head in wrestling, right? It's a lot of wrestlers that were like
huge, tall,
7 foot. That you want like watch this. I'm finna show you. I'm a very much a wrestling fanatic. 6'10". You didn't know Undertaker was that tall.
Yeah, so give me images real quick. Yes, I did. I did know he was tall. Yes, I did. I could actually say he was tall.
And I think Kane taller than him. Let's see, I don't see it. 7 foot.
Because I was just trying to make sure it's who because my memory.
Kane 7 foot.
And I didn't know Kane was that tall. Yeah. Give me images on Kane. Yeah, no, I wanted to see them like in their gear because that's for some reason I remember everybody in their gear opposed to like other. Yeah, but so I didn't realize. Yeah, I didn't realize
they were like, damn, it's a lot. It's somebody else I'm thinking of. Oh, I'm finna see. You might not.
Kevin.
Know him. Do you know him?
I remember his hair.
You ain't watched them. Did you watch them?
Yes, I did. I promise I did. I didn't know he was. Well, he do look big.
Yeah,
but not 6'10". I didn't realize he was 6'10".
So almost everybody who used to cross over the ropes over the top and just stretch their legs over, they were always like 6'10" and up. So if you ever seen a wrestler get in over the top rope and just stretch and climb right over the top rope and then have to bend down, they were always tall.
Yeah,
like Scott Steiner, Scott Hall. You probably didn't know he was. You probably know him from the Jerry curl, the little curl.
I don't know.
If you know Kevin Nash, they were always together. Look right here.
Okay, see
they were always together.
See, I kind of do. I kind of do. Oh, give me this picture. That's him.
You ain't gonna know this. You ain't gonna know that picture. You'll know this before you, and you'll know this right here before you know that picture.
What about this? Oh, I know this picture. I do know this picture. I have seen this picture before. I know him.
If you done seen the curls,
man, mind your business.
And then hold on.
I remember what I remember.
You know him?
Yes, I know him.
Oh, I'm
yes,
about to say.
Yeah.
I was finna say. It's a lot. You know him?
Yeah, I know him.
You know he was that big.
That's not big.
Oh, that's still big though.
I mean, it's big, but I'm saying that's normal.
And then you know him, right?
Yeah, I know him.
The muscles.
I know him.
Yeah. Cause I know people be wanting us to react to like wrestling highlights and stuff, which we try, we can't do, just due to the simple fact that it's copyrighted. I know other channels do it. I can't control what another channel do, what they're willing to risk on their channel. Just you always protect your own at the end of the day, and I have to make sure we good. So no, unfortunately, we won't be able to do any wrestling content on YouTube.
Yeah,
what we'll do on Patreon, that's different, but on YouTube for sure, nah. But hey, man, y'all spam us up in the comments. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are
Kid and C.
We are.
Peace.
Got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my